Hello everybody, it is your boy Sam, aka the train mother main, my fathers, daughters, clotters, and blotters. So it is officially 2021. I wanted to make a video last week, but I figure with all the progress made lately, I would just wait until the new year. New video, new year, fresh start, whatever the hell you want to call it. I also got a brand new phone. It's the iPhone 12 Pro Max astronaut model, whatever the hell you want to call it. So the camera, if you couldn't tell from the quality and resolution and stability, is much improved off my previous phone that I was using to film. I am also working very hard to not be shaky or fast with the camera. So forgive me for all the previous videos. That's probably my most commented comment, is that I'm very fast with the camera and it's annoying. And I agree when I rewatch after taking that into consideration. So bear with me, and I think the phone does a lot of the work on this now. So I'm gonna hop in because I don't wanna make this a 20-minute video again, but we have made a ton. See, even that right there is a little too quick. We have made a ton of progress. So for the first time, I'm actually going to start at this end of the layout because there's actually a lot going on over here. So the first thing, and I'll get to this backdrop thing in a second, you'll see. So I was working on this today. This is obviously the outer main line, if you've watched previous videos. I have my secondary backdrop completely in place along the main street scene. Then it disappears to where, obviously this goes around and then comes back around. It's a loop. Got the mountain scene, a lot of the foam and stuff back in. But down here, I finally had a lot of this down, but I finally finished up these two tracks today. This split, it's gonna be a little Allied Rail Rebuilders, a little shop servicing, broken box cars and switchers and whatever the hell people that rebuild rail stuff would rebuild. Still gonna have the double grade crossing. They're a nice little yard. Gonna put like fences and wheel sets and all that. Even have the track going into the building now. It's hard to see it centered because it's not detailed up. It's still pink bottom. So that's nice. And finishing off this corner, it'll round it out nice with the street and all the stuff coming along. The branch line that goes to all the town industry, completely glued. It starts down here, which you could see. I'll work back that way. And I decided, instead of having it connect on both sides as like an interloop, that I put a little abandoned missing switch, couple rails here. I'm gonna put, the pile of gravel here after it serves this little, I think this is a brewery or a tire factory, barrel factory, whatever. So that'll stay there. I have some backdrop building flats and all that. A lot of buildings for Main Street, which I will showcase next time. Also have the runaround in here, which is nice. And I extended out the one industry lead that it used to dead end here. I extended it a little more. Something will be here that's served, or maybe it'll go into something here, I'm not sure yet. Sorry. So I also finished my bridge kits. These legs were not the prototype, I just made those. I might still add the cross members. Then I added my little flat under the water land that's gonna hold the bridge legs up. Got this all nice and tidy over here too. Put in these front pieces of fascia. Ignore this, I had to get in there a little bit, so I'm going to repaint all of this. But these will all be tapered. These will all be tapered. The back will be tapered to go with the mountain scene. The double bridge, obviously. Oh, here comes the train. Perfect timing. And I know it's sagging a little bit, but I have the masking tape under there to hold the tracks together. So this scene's shaping up nice. Nothing's really changed over here. I've done some more foam work. I got it all nice and cleaned up because I'm going to do the finishing touches on the foam chiseling here in the next week or two. And I finally ordered a bunch of ground cover, acrylic paint, all that good stuff. So So I'm gonna finally get around to finishing up the actual mountainsides and whatnot. Obviously, if you've been watching my videos since the start, the lumber mill's going down here. Nothing's really changed here at all in a couple months, besides just some tweaking. I'm replacing a switch that was here that was bad because I screwed up the switch on my own. That's a long story. So I ripped up a bit of track. That's in the mail. That's really the only thing. And then down here, same thing. Nothing's really changed. Like I said, just some foam work. Got to work in the portals here. So yeah, like I said, I put in some more foam up here, enough to where when I start to taper it down, you know, this whole area will look really mountainous and nice. And then obviously river scene. Did a lot more over here as well. So I think I'm 95% done adding foam. I just need to carve it now. That's going to be the big chore and the big mess, but once it's done, we'll be done. So I have all pretty much, I might need 4 or 5 more buildings, kit wise, all that stuff to fill in the main street scene. I have a few buildings facing this way, coming down here. I'm going to carve all this back and make it flow. I know it's hard to picture now. Next video, I'll have all my buildings, including the town, the coal mine, and the lumber mill. I'll have them all out, even if it's just for the video, so you could get real perspective. So back over here, I have a lot of the buildings, most of the ones I'll need to fill up the space. So when they're all out here, it's a nice full scene with the street coming through. So let's catch this. This is a cool achievement. So this is the back side of the layout. And those are portholes. Obviously you can see, I haven't put plexi in them yet. I still got to sand everything a little bit. It's a little uneven, and that's, oh, by the way, the fascia and the backdrop, this is all a base coat of paint just to keep it black. Once I'm closer to being done, before I do ground cover, I'm going to paint it all a nice darker gray. This is just all for perspective. It still looks nice though. As you can see, it's a little splotchy in some areas, but this is the back of the layout. So over here faces like my living room area. Down here, the man cave zone, whatever you want to call it, that's Sopranos. Tony Soprano killing a guy. So if you don't like Sopranos, then I'm sorry, but I do. This was the back side of the layout, and I wanted something to be done with it. I didn't want to have, you know, because the branch line comes off here. It's actually the outer loop that goes around here, but comes off here on a Y. So you got the inner line that goes all the way around, then the outer line that goes all the way around, but the outer splits off. There's another big loop over here. So it starts there, comes here, and then goes back into the Y. See where it's coming now? And then it'll go back there that way. So let's catch this again. So obviously if you're sitting over to my left, camera left, you're seeing just this black piece of wood. And eventually I'm gonna put, you know, curtains or doors or something. I might do doors so I could store stuff under it. You know, big panels with just little access holes. You'd just be staring at a black flat piece of wood. So I added this falsetto backdrop. I painted it. I just had a derail of some sort. I think it's because I forgot to close that switch. I'm surprised that didn't happen sooner. Let me just stop this for now so I don't have any more carnage. Sorry about that. I stopped the video to stop the carnage. So I added this. Sorry about that. I stopped the video to stop the train to reduce carnage. It's because I forgot to throw that switch. It should have happened earlier. I don't know why it didn't derail already. So I have this false backdrop in here. I'm not sure how I'm going to roof it and connect it to, because this sits about an inch lower than over here. But I'm going to put building flat so the train just kind of disappears behind the buildings, and I'll make it look good. This is just the porthole. So it's a really cool idea. I don't know that I've seen access holes, obviously, which I have on the actual hidden part, including this one here. And then I have one, you know, going along every 2 feet along the back for where it's actually inaccessible. But for over here, instead of just having it be a big loop and then another loop, like 2 tracks right through the town, that doesn't make sense. So I wanted it to be hidden, but at the same time, the eyesore of just a big black whatever over here. So when you're sitting over anywhere over here, you come down and you're looking at it from over here, you get some action, which I think is really cool. I've never seen that done, like I said, besides for access holes or where people have a helix, they kind of open it up so you could see it spiral up. So I'm really excited on that. Obviously this is Bachmann Easy Track. I have not painted the base or the ballast of it, whatever you want to call it yet, but I might, just so the track doesn't stand out as much, but it doesn't look so bad as is. Obviously I painted the backdrop in there black too, so it's basically just a dark tunnel. So when the train is going against it, it really stands out and pops. And I should have just put the train back on when I stopped the video so you could get another look at that. But, you know, rewind the video, check it out. And I'm really excited with that. So fascia work, backdrop work, that's all done. Literally as of today. Besides where I have to replace that switch over here. Literally as of today, the track plan is complete. Of course, just like anyone who's railroaded, model railroaded, the track plan is never complete until you're not putting any more track down. So I still might add an abandoned piece that's mocked up there, you know, put some weeds and all that on it, and I'm just messing with it, but I think I'm done. I already extended that. So I'm getting kind of all over the place now, but yes, I'll fence this all off. Main street, industry served, backdrop, building flats. The next video, I will show you how it looks with everything on it, minus the scenery, because I'm not that far yet. But I will be finishing up the foam work by March 1st is my goal, to have every piece of foam in and carved, so I never have to touch or carve the foam again. And from there, I can start doing ground cover and scenics based around everything else. Because now that the track's done, now that the backdrop and fascia are done, and I did it all in conjunction, that's the next step I'm going to take. So, and then as well as working on little projects based around the foam, like the bridge and these little front fascia pieces and tapering the fascia, all that. So I'm going to get the foam messy part out of the way next. I know I've been saying that that's the goal, but that's been the goal, is working to this point. So the layout just feels so much more complete, and it looks very well finished in my book. I'm saying as far as the bench work and the track plan, you should see with all the buildings on. I had them out this past week. I was off work during the Christmas holiday, so I was really getting some scenes worked in with the buildings. Obviously nothing's permanently in place, but it's really, really come together. So like I said, I ordered some acrylic paint and ground covers too. This was actually a technique that I saw somebody do, and I'm not good at it yet. I just made it just to test it though. I took some extra foam scraps. I save all my extra foam and wood scraps because I never know when I'm going to need them, and countless times since I've been saving them, I've gone back and used them for projects. This is all left over from when I built the bench work and stuff. I took a piece of wood, glued a few different kinds of examples of foam, and this is like my test for, test for painting, and I'm going to test ground cover and color schemes and all that crap. And I can, do techniques and different things here before I take them over to the layout. And there's obviously no rhyme or reason to it when I'm done, or if I don't, I'll rip this off. It's Elmer's glued on, and grab a new scrap and test it again. So that's a really cool idea. I stole from somebody else. I forget whom, but I'm sure other people do it. And I can, I was testing some different techniques. The lighting sucks back here, but you can kind of, I don't know, either way. So I guess that's pretty much it for now. Like I said, so recap, track plan's done for the most part, 99.9999 actual percent. The backdrop fascia area, including the new porthole of glory, the glory hole, that's the train glory hole, let's call it. Got a lot more of the foam in, and we're ready to move on to some of the more final stages, the fun stages. I never really got as far as I am now in my old layout, actually much further. So stay tuned. Tips and tricks, Tony Hawk style. And we'll see you within a month. Like I said, a video a month. So the train main. Thank you for stopping. Subscribe.